This course is presented to you free of charge by TTJ Tech Services of www.ttjtech.biz and by Stir It Up of www.stiritup.com. And remember, stir is spelled with a U, not an I, so that's STURITUP.com. TTJ Tech Services and Stir It Up are pleased to offer this course to you, to the glory of God and to the benefit of all those who listen. Well, yes, praise God, and welcome once again, my friends, to iPad for All Computing. This is session 11 today, moving right along. We are going to be talking today about Safari. And so we are very excited to get into browsing the web. This will be, like many of our other sessions have been, a sort of a two-part session, with the second part including an experience lab. So we're very excited to get into that today. We will begin a screen share and the original audio as well. So please remember, if you are joining us live, do not browse away from the Zoom app, or you may miss things that are being shared. The screen share is about to start. And there we go. And now we'll get the original audio going. And we are ready to begin to demonstrate Safari. You know, Safari has gotten a lot of criticism over the years because people feel that, you know, maybe this or that is difficult with VoiceOver. But here's the bottom line. Like with most things,
Henry join. More, but speech.
If we are able to get some training and learn how to properly use Safari, it will work very well for us. And there are, of course, every once in a while you're going to run into websites that are just not coded well and properly for good accessibility. But for the most part, you can figure out what it is that you're doing and how to navigate in Safari. And Safari is very powerful, and we can, it is the web browser, in case anyone didn't realize that. And we're going to get started with it. So let's go ahead here.
Speech on. You are sharing screen. Picture-in-picture displayed. Dock. Safari.
And
double tap to open.
When you first open Safari, it will immediately show you the last website or last page that you had open. Now, I have closed all of my tabs, so there will be nothing except the sort of default start page.
Safari.
You can change
double
that.
Tap to open. Safari. Edit button.
Okay. You can change this, but this is default. This is the sort of Apple start page interface that we have, and it's not so much a website as a collection of features and sources here. Notice that at the top,
on Matthew's edit, but show sidebar button.
We have a show sidebar button. We began looking at sidebars in the Mail app last week, and we said, just as a reminder, refresher here, that a sidebar is a vertical bar typically displayed along the left-hand side of the screen that provides access to various options, features, and functions. If you have an 11-inch iPad and you show the sidebar, there are some apps where the sidebar will automatically disappear once you make a selection. But in the Safari app, that is not so much the case. The Safari app actually will display the sidebar until you hide it again. And I apologize for the puppy barking. I don't really know what she's barking at the moment. I'm not sure she knows what she's barking at, to be honest with you. I sometimes get that impression, too. But anyway, she'll stop here momentarily. May have already done so. All right, so the sidebar, praise God, we're going to come back to the sidebar. We're not going to look at it just yet because it's not needed for the most basic web browsing tasks. It does display some important things when you show it, and we will do that in a little bit. But I wanted to show you that that show sidebar button is up at the upper left-hand corner of the screen. If you want to get there quickly, of course, you can do a four-finger single tap near the top of the screen. And if your iPad currently says hide sidebar, go ahead and double tap that if you're working with us so that you can be in the same situation where your sidebar is hidden right now.
Show sidebar.
So
button.
it should say show sidebar when it's actually hidden so that you can double tap it to show it.
Show sidebar button.
All right, so let's move on. We're going to just swipe to the right and take a look at what's on this start page interface here.
Back, dimmed, button. Forward, dimmed, button.
All right, where we are is along the top of the screen. The iPhone, if you are used to using Safari on the iPhone, you know that those things are displayed on the bottom of the screen. Back, forward, you know, that is not the case with the iPad. These are along the top of the screen on the iPad. And so you have back and forward. Notice that they're grayed out or dimmed, and that's because there's nowhere to go. We had, as I said, I closed my tabs on purpose so that you could hear this from the start, and consequently, there's nothing open. So we can't go back because there's nowhere to go. We haven't been anywhere yet, and we can't go forward either. That's why it says they're dimmed. All right, let's see what else is up there if we keep swiping to the right.
Selected, address, search or enter website name, button.
Now, it said selected, but we have to double tap it to actually open the edit field. Notice it said search or enter website name, and I can't stress this enough, my friends. You do not have to go to google.com or any other search engine.com in order to do a search. A lot of people I've worked with, they think you have to, because what they don't realize is this bar is both an address bar and a search bar. So you can absolutely type a website in here like apple.com, ttjtech.biz, stiritup.com. Why would you want to go there? No, I'm just kidding. I think Cliff is here, so hopefully he heard that little joke. But, you know, you could type a web address, but you can also type a search term. Best lasagna recipe. You know, he can't even unmute to defend himself right now because I didn't give the instructors co-host privileges yet. Cliff, save up your comeback. We'll get to you. So you can also you can also type a search term. It doesn't have to just be a web address. You can type best lasagna recipe, difference between I don't know, whatever it is you're looking for, right? You can do, I'm just trying to think of some other, you know, things you might Google search, but you get the idea. It's a search field as much as it is an address bar. Now, how do we know what search engine it's going to use? Well, by default, it's going to use Google, but you can change that from your Safari settings. There are some others. I think you can use Yahoo, Bing, DuckDuckGo. I don't know if there's any others in the United States. Different countries, there might be different ones. But you can change your default search engine, and that way you don't have to actually go to the search website first in order to perform your searches. So I wanted to really stress that. And we'll demonstrate it here in a couple of minutes. But let's keep going to the right now to see what else is up there.
Manage extensions, button. Voice search, dimmed, button.
And there's a voice search button, which of course is dimmed because we're on a Zoom call. Can't do that right now. Your manage extensions. Now, I don't really know. I haven't actually gone into that. I've seen that up there for a while. I didn't really think I installed a Safari extension, but Safari extensions like give additional functionality to Safari, and maybe one of my apps has installed one. Let's just go ahead and look at that.
Manage extensions, button.
That's a little bit more advanced, but I'm kind of curious.
Manage extensions. Manage edit actions button. Manage extensions button. Manage edit actions button.
Okay, I don't actually see any in there right now.
Manage extension. Dismiss pop-up.
Okay, well,
Show sidebar.
anyway,
button.
it's there. But let's keep going to the right.
Back, forward, selected, address, manage voice search.
So,
manage extensions, voice search, dimmed, button.
Now,
share, dimmed, button.
Nothing to share either right now. When we open a website, we'll show you that. That will bring up a share sheet.
New tab, button.
Okay, new tab.
Tabs, button.
And tabs. That's going to let you view both your tabs and your tab groups, which I'll explain about a little bit later. And then, of course, you can open a new tab. We don't have to open up a new tab right now because we're already in a blank tab. But it has this search, this start page stuff. If we keep going to the right now, what we're going to get into.
Favorites. Show all, button.
Okay, now, I want you to understand what you're seeing here. you're about to see favorites, but that's not because they're normally up here. Okay, so I don't want anybody to think, well, I'm always going to have my favorites right there. No, you're not. Um, you can show your favorites in the sidebar later, but the reason that they're here is because this is this Apple Start Page thing. It gives you access, remember I said, to various sources and various features. And one of the things it gives you access to is your favorites. So if you've not customized your Start Page, and if you close all the other open tabs that you have, everything is closed. Now you're going to have this Start Page, which I told you is not so much a page as much as access to different things. Well, the first thing it's access to is your favorites. So we have some favorites here. We can hit show all if we want to see all of them.
Save tabs button. Gourmet chocolate. General mistakes for Wordle. Everett Foodliner. How to install and Bruce is met. What are my current lifeboat? Rima Correspondence Bible School. HTTP: Original Italian Pizza. Andrea Tantillo. Jim's FH. SpaceX Web. IEEE. Apple button. Yahoo. YouTube. News button. Popular but thrilling stories by Titanic saved. 1912. What happened that night?
Now there's a lot of favorites, and some of these are going back many, many, many years. But I don't think they're all shown because there was still a show all button. But notice now that it had several different, it has a whole bunch of favorites. And one of the things that you heard right away was saved tabs, so that there might be other tabs that we have. And then there's some of these that are actual like subfolders, because it's possible to have bookmarks folders. And some of these came pre-installed years and years ago, and I don't know if they still even do that anymore. If you've never had any Apple account or anything, and you open one, I don't know if this happens still, but years ago they used to automatically put in there like Yahoo, and they put YouTube, and they put popular, which was a category, and those were from the Mac even, and then when I had first Mobile Me, and then I got iCloud, they were just there. So it's maintained them all these years since I started with Apple back in 2009. So some of these are really, really old, but that's okay. I would just keep going.
Track 70, last 30, privacy report.
Okay.
What happened? 9, privacy report.
Now notice we've transitioned. Remember, if we want to see all the favorites, we'd have to tap on that see all button. But now we've transitioned to another section of this privacy report.
Last 30 days. Trackers prevented from profiling you. 74. Websites that contacted trackers. 80%. Most contacted tracker. Google-N. Safari prevents trackers from profiling you.
Interesting. So you can get a privacy report here about what's been happening, trackers that have been prevented from having your information.
Show more.
You can show more.
Reading list.
Now the reading list is like another place where you can store articles and so on, and you can even download them for offline viewing if you wish to. So we can access that here. Again, this is only because this is the start page.
Show all, but Joseph Box, Wikipedia.org. Add event. Free add to calendar button and add event.com. Atlantis Vertical Line Paradise Island Bahamas. Bahamas Vacation. Google.com. Beaches registered. Compare all beaches. Red beaches. Membership. Just enough of Minter. XFI. Affinity.com. iCloud tabs.
Now we're on iCloud tabs.
Mac Rumors.
And then
MacRumors.com on Matthew's iPhone. Edit button. Edit.
And then that's
button.
it. All right, so let's talk about what iCloud tabs do. iCloud tabs would display the tabs that you have open on other devices that are signed into your same Apple account, even if the device is locked, even if it's asleep. Like you heard, it had things there from my iPhone, but those tabs are just open. I don't even have Safari open on my iPhone. My iPhone is asleep, face down. It just knows through iCloud, so I could quickly jump to one of those tabs. And it had Mac Rumors open there because I was looking at that on my phone earlier. And notice then, once we get past the iCloud tabs, that we have an edit button.
Edit button.
And that's at the very bottom of the screen, again, only on this start page. So what that's allowing us to do is to edit the things that we see on this start page. If, for example, we didn't want to have that privacy report on there or other things, you can customize what this page looks like. And again, this is just the Apple start page. Some of you may have already chosen to change your default start page. You can certainly do that from within your settings in Safari, settings, apps, and Safari to be exact. But again, this is the default one. I've never changed it. And normally, if you don't close a particular tab and you just go home after you're done with Safari for now, the next time you open Safari, that same page you had open will remain there. And so that's another thing just to keep in mind. But now I'm going to go back to this search and address bar up here at the top. It's going to be kind of the top middle of the screen.
Selected. Address. Search or enter website name.
And we'll double tap.
Address. Text field is editing. Search or enter website name. Insertion point at start.
Now it is opened up. And so let's go ahead and go to Mac Rumors. I like to look at Mac Rumors because they often have articles about Apple products. So we'll start typing.
Web page loaded. Mac Rumors. Apple News and Rumors.
Okay, why did it say web page loaded? Because it's preloading what it thinks I want. They call that the top hit, the one that I've visited most frequently or that's most relevant. I could keep typing if I didn't want Mac Rumors. Maybe I wanted macaronigrill.com or something else. I could certainly keep typing. But just like when you do when you compose a new message in Mail or Messages and you start typing the first few letters, you're going to have results up here above the keyboard also. So let's take a look at what's here now that I've just typed MA. Upper, a little bit on the right-hand side, upper middle of the screen.
Selected. Mac Rumors. Apple
Okay,
News.
just swipe left.
Tabs. Button. Selected. Mac Rumors. Apple News and Rumors. MacRumors.com.
You can see that's the first
Actions
one.
available.
You can see that's the first one, and if I double tap it, it's going to take me there. What are the actions?
Delete from history. Activate default.
Okay, so you can delete it from history that way. Let's go to the right.
Google suggestions. Heading.
All right, these are what, when I type MA, what it thinks the top suggestions are that I might want to search for.
March Madness. Complete search. Button.
And we can complete.
March Madness bracket. Complete maps. Complete search. Mac definition. Complete bookmarks. History. And tabs. Heading.
So basically, what it did is it thinks maybe I want to search for March Madness or one of those, so I could complete the search for that. And then if I keep going to the right, it's going to look at my bookmarks, my history.
Make your iPhone action button do Max vertical line stream. Apple announces new iPad Air with M3.
Right, so all these different options. Now let's swipe back to the left. We just want Mac Rumors. I'm not even going to swipe. I'm going to just touch.
Bookmarks. Hit complete. Safari. Safari. Make your iPhone app. Complete.
And I do have to swipe a little.
March Mad. Tap.
There it is.
Mac Rumors. Apple News and Rumors. MacRumors.com.
Very first result.
Actions available.
We're going to double tap.
Google. Tap. Selected. Show sidebar button.
Okay. Now the page is loaded. And what we can do is we can touch on the screen, upper middle.
Mac Rumors homepage. Visited. Link. Image. Banner. Landmark. Apple, Mac, iPhone, iPad News and Rumors. More content available. Mac Rumors. Visited. Link. Apple, Mac, iPhone, iPad News and Rumors.
Now you notice that it said visited. So it tells you what links you've already visited. I can start swiping to the right to read the contents of this page.
Got a tip for us? Let us know. Link. Mac Rumors Show. Link. Mac Rumors on Instagram. Link. Mac Rumors Facebook page. Link.
Now, if we keep swiping left and right, we can just read through this whole page. The more we swipe to the right, the further down the page we're going to go. We could even do a 2-finger swipe down, of course, to automatically have VoiceOver read the entire page. But I happen to know that this page is set up using headings. So it's going to save a lot of time if I turn my rotor to headings.
Text selection, log, work, edit, voice, screen, verb, form, headings.
I was already on headings.
Form headings.
Notice it tells you how many there are. Go to the right.
Links. 574 links.
See, it'll even tell you that. All right, so go back.
Headings. 24 headings.
And now we can start swiping down. Every article is denoted as a heading. So we can just swipe down with one finger to go to the next heading.
Software engineer runs generative AI on 20-year-old PowerBook G4. Heading level 2. Link main. Landmark.
And what's interesting about the way Mac Rumors is set up is almost always you can read the whole article without having to click on these links. Every once in a while, but typically you can read the whole thing. I think what happens, like a lot of blogs, they put a very small article preview and then you have to click on the link or tap on like read more or something. But with Mac Rumors, most often you're going to get the whole story without even having to click this link. All you got to do is just swipe to the right and keep swiping. So if we want to read this, we'll just swipe right.
Monday, March 24th, by Joe Rossi in A. Blog post. Link. This week, software engineer Andrew Rossignol, my brother, detailed how he managed to run generative AI on an old PowerBook G4. PowerBook G4 LLM. While hardware PowerBook G4 LLM. Image. More content available. Laptop. Learn shell edit view profiles. While hardware requirements for large language models, LLMs, are typically high, this particular PowerBook G4 model from 2005 is equipped with a mere 1.5 GHz PowerPC G4 processor and 1 GB of RAM. Despite this 20-year-old hardware, my brother was able to achieve inference with Meta's LLM model Llama 2 on the laptop. The experiment involved porting the open-source Llama 2.
That's very fascinating to me. But anyway, we can keep swiping to the right to read this, or swipe back to the left to go back. And to the, I don't mean actually go back to a previous page, but I mean go back in the article. You can swipe down to the next heading and see what else there is.
Appleseed's Mac OS Sequoia 15.4 release candidate with mail categorization.
Right. So again, all of these, it's right now set to navigate by headings, and this is not a voiceover class, but I did want to just stress that. So now let's demonstrate some other features. Let's go to another sort of article-based website that I frequently use, which is Cord Cutters News. Gives a lot of information, even though technically I don't qualify as a cord cutter, but I certainly do use the Apple TV almost exclusively. We, of course, have my screen may switch over here because I just let me
remind end and accept.
All right, I'm gonna have to
end and
let's
accept.
just it'll just move the screen. It'll be fine. Anyway, wait till that finishes. But what I was saying was that I use the Apple TV almost exclusively for TV, and I use a lot of streaming services. So I still like to use Cord Cutters News to sort of keep abreast of what's going on and in the world of cord cutting. Now, I'll go to that site.
Zoom, picture at dock, Safari.
Go back there. Okay. So
Safari.
Let's go to the address bar again.
Selected. Address. Macrumors.com. Address.
Double tap.
Text favorite.
Now, I want you to notice if you double tap the address bar, automatically.
Address. Text field is editing. https://www.macrumors.com selected. Character mode.
Notice it said that whole thing is selected. A lot of people think that they have to delete what's in the address bar or something. The only way that would happen is if you move the voiceover cursor. But right now, I can actually just type and it will replace what's there because it said it was selected. You got to listen for these clues. If I swipe to the right, though,
clear text button.
As with many edit fields,
use the rotor to access misspelled words.
Okay, as with many edit fields, there is indeed a clear text button as a quick way to delete all your text. But I'm going to deliberately not do that to show you that I don't have to because all of this is selected. So if I type the C from Cord Cutters News, it's immediately going to delete that entire selection and replace it with just the C.
C. Selection to vertical line Cord Cutters News. cordcuttersnews.com.
And it said selection deleted, and then it actually, again, said the very first website that's the top hit, which is Cord Cutters News. So if we touch near the top right of the screen, not far right, but upper middle.
Selected. Vertical line Cord Cutters News. cordcuttersnews.com.
Double tap.
Skip to content.
Now,
in page length.
This website also works best with headings, and this one you do have to actually open the article to read the whole thing. Most of them you're not going to be able to read if you don't. So if we swipe down.
Latest posts. Heading level 2. Main. Landmark.
Now we swipe to the right.
WWE Raw. Special start time from Scotland. How to watch live on Roku, Fire TV, Apple TV, and W by James Gutman. March 24th. Read more.
See, that one has a read more button. Let's see what other articles there.
Disney Plus now allows users to remove titles from continue watching. Link.
Okay, let's do that.
Skip to content.
So,
in page link.
I clicked on that link, double tapped it, and now if we go down to that heading.
Disney Plus now allows users to remove titles from continue watching.
That's the page we're on. But here's where I want to show you now. Let's go back up to the address bar, address field.
Safari, selected, Safari, address, cordcuttersnews.com, button.
And
page menu, button.
Just to the left of the address and search field, there's a page menu button. Just one swipe to the left. If you double tap this,
page Search document, button, page menu, button, search document, text size, more, but hide distracting items, Disney Plus Now, listen to page, button, show reader, button, highlights, heading.
Now, you have these various options. Hide distracting items, you can it's kind of a visual thing. It lets you choose different parts of the page to hide. You can adjust the text size. You can listen to the page, which will use, I believe, your Siri voice to read the page to you, the article to you, but you can also choose reader, and I like reader mode. It said show reader.
Show reader, button.
What that's going to do is that is going to strip away all the superfluous stuff, all the extra links, all the unnecessary content, and what you're left with is just this beautiful rendering of the content on this page. So this is great for articles. So if I choose show reader,
video, double tap to toggle controls.
Now
Logo.
I'll tap up near the top middle.
Safari selected. Safari address. Disney Plus tabs button.
Notice as soon as I get to the right of the tabs button,
Disney Plus now allows users to remove titles from continue watching. Jess Barnes bullet. March 24th. Disney Plus link is now giving users more control over their content with a much requested new feature. You can now remove a title from your continue watching row if you started a show or movie by mistake, if someone else in your household was watching from your account, or if you're just not interested in finishing it.
Notice I didn't have to go through all the top links, anything. It immediately took me to the actual content. And what's cool is, let's try something else.
Safari selected, page menu button.
Double tap that.
Selected. Search documents, search text size, more, button, reader, heading, San Francisco, pop-up button, selected, white, sepia, gray, night, listen to page, button.
You can pick different font styles, color options, and so on. And let's try listen to page. I assume you'll be able to hear it over Zoom. I would think. We're going to find out.
Show sidebar button.
Disney Plus now allows users to remove titles from continue watching. Jess Barnes, March 24, 2025. Disney Plus is now giving users more control over their content, with a much requested new feature. You can now remove a title from your continue watching row if you started a show or movie by mistake, if someone else in your household was watching from your account, or if you're just not interested in finishing it. When you're looking at the details page for a title, you'll see a plus sign to add that title to your watch list. Now, you'll also see a minus sign to remove the title from your continue watching list. Depending on how you're watching Disney Plus, there are other ways to remove content from the list, and Disney Plus outlines all of them on a support page. While the title will be removed from the row, your progress will not be deleted. So, if you decide to go back to a title and finish it later, you can still pick up right where you left off. One note is that live events cannot be removed from the row. Live events are removed from continue watching when the event is over. The update will be available on the web, Apple TV, and iOS devices starting today, and will roll out to additional platforms in the coming weeks.
Now, that is a cool feature and very much like what happens in the actual Apple TV app itself. It's nice to see that Disney's doing that. But it's also really cool that we can read that, and that works for even non-voiceover users because that was just a listen to page option in the page menu, and it's just, again, now we can...
Show 0 seconds of 0 forward, selected, page menu, back, button, selected,
okay.
Manage extensions, but selected, address, selected, page, selected. Text more reader set gray night hide reader button
hide reader
video
and we're back.
Logo
now see
Safari how to watch submenu reviews submenu reviews news submenu news home search.
Look at all those things that we were able to bypass in reader mode. Praise God. We're in
Disney Plus now allows you.
I just did a swipe down to go to that heading, but you notice there's a lot of stuff above it now that wasn't there when I was in reader mode. So reader is super cool. It takes away all that extra stuff. Now our back button's available up here.
Safari selected page menu forward back button forward dimmed.
Right,
button,
forward's not, but back is.
Back button. Skip to content.
Now we're
page latest posts.
Back on that page now. Forward should be available.
Select manage extension. Reload. Share. But new tab.
Whoop.
Page forward button.
Yep. And notice some other things.
Page select manage reload. Manage extensions. Reload page button.
Reload page. That's like your refresh button. That will reload the current page. Also, when the focus is on the page itself, you can do a 3-finger swipe down, and eventually once you're that will keep bringing you like further and further up closer to the top of the page. Once you're on what it considers to be page 1, it will also refresh. That's another way to do that. That's the pull to refresh option. Another thing is if you're far down on a page and you want to quickly get to the top, so we can do this 3-finger swipe up and down. Let me just show you this.
Disclaimer to http://
Okay, I just touched further down on the page. I can swipe down with 3 fingers.
Page 1 of 8.
Swipe up with 3 fingers.
Page 2 of 8. Page 3 of page 4. Page 5 of 9.
Now, notice the page is growing. It was 8, now it says 9 because there's more there. It just does what you can see.
Page 6 of page 10 of 10. Apply page 9 of 9.
Okay, now we're very far down, so I could swipe down with 3 fingers.
Page 9 of 10.
To go back.
Main. Page 8 of 10.
But also, if I want to quickly jump up here, I can touch the status bar.
Monday, March 2:34 p.m. Status bar item.
And double tap.
Swiped. Page 1 of 9.
And what that does
Page 1 of 9.
is that immediately scrolls me back to the top of the page. So anytime you're on a really long website or document or something and you're far down and you want to immediately go clear back up to the top, you can touch the status bar and then double tap and it will scroll to the top of the page. That's what that means, that voiceover hint when it says double tap to scroll to top. Now, remember also, we're not swiping left and right to change pages because left and right turns the page to separate pages like pages of a book. Up and down,
2:35 p.m. Safari.
there we go. Up and down scrolls on an existing page. And that's what you would use on a document as well, such as in Pages, even though those are going to create separate pages, right, for your document, but it's still one long document. So it's that same scroll, 3-finger up and down gesture, or again, you can double tap the status bar once you touch it to quickly scroll back to the top of the document. That's a good gesture to know, and that works for sighted users as well. You don't have to touch first if you don't have voiceover on, but you double tap that status bar, and it should bring you up to the top. I don't think it's a single tap. I could be wrong. I apologize. Try it both ways, but I think it's still a double tap, actually. Now, this is, browsing 101. We're just doing very basic things right now. Showed you back, forward, browsing to another site, reader mode. Let's do a search. So I used the example of best lasagna recipe, but let's actually try something different in honor of, we'll keep it to recipes right now, but it's springtime. So let's search like best springtime recipes. So I'm going to go to this edit field.
Selected. Address. Text.
And this time I will clear the text just for fun. That's to the right.
Show all. Favorites. Address. Clear text. Search or enter website now.
All right, let's type springtime recipes. Okay.
SPRINGTIME
Now I want to show you something.
Springtime recipes.
Before we press return, which says go actually,
Go.
before we do that, I want to show you that there's some suggestions up above here already.
Google suggestions. Heading. Selected. Springtime recipes. Springtime recipes easy. Complete search. But springtime recipes for kids.
Right, so we can choose one of those. I'm just going to go ahead and press return here.
Go.
Or go.
Use the rotor to access misspelled words.
And what that's done is that's loaded me a Google search result page now, which I can again navigate by headings.
Accessibility links, filters and topics. Heading search results. Heading level 1.
Sometimes you'll have a featured snippet, but here
74 fresh and vibrant spring recipes. Heading level 3. Link.
now, what website is that? Let's swipe to the right to figure that out.
Taste of home. Link.
Okay, that's what it is. Let's go down.
Recipes. Heading level about this result. 40 fresh and healthy spring recipes. Heading level top spring recipes. Heading BBC Good Food. Top 35 fresh spring recipes. A couple cooks. Link. Rated 5.1. Link. 75 easy spring dinner ideas that are full of flavor. Heading Food Network. Link.
Okay, I like Food Network, so let's go to that one.
75 easy spring dinner ideas that are full of flavor. Heading level 3. Link.
Double tap.
Accessibility. Main menu. Button.
And it's loading that page. Now, let's
0 seconds of 0
okay,
seconds.
okay, there's going to be some ads here.
0 seconds of 50.
But let's swipe down.
75 easy spring dinner ideas that are full of flavor. Heading level 1.
Swipe right.
Updated on March 21st, 2025 by Food Network Kitchen. The Food Network Kitchen team develops recipes, tests products, preps for Food Network shows. Foodnetwork.com. Period. Save collection button. From satisfying mains that are a little lighter and brighter to easy sides made with the season's best veggies. Chicken _ 02 pin it button.
Now,
image.
probably
Image.
these are headings, I would guess.
Scroll for more photo. 1/75. Our best spring dinner recipes. Heading level 2. Spring has sprung and, along with it, a bounty of fresh produce that's perfect for family weeknight dinners. Link. Tender spears of asparagus. Link. Flavorful artichokes and stalks of oh so versatile rhubarb. Link.
Notice all these are links. Go down by heading.
Spring vegetable fettuccine alfredo. Heading
There's
level
one.
2. 0 seconds. Spring sheep 0 sec. Sheep 0 sec. Sheep pan London broil with asparagus cribbage. Heading coconut tofu with snap pea salad. Get up to a 30% head star discount with drive safe and
These are some ads there, but
registered. 34 spring pasta recipes. 103 easy 30-minute. 34 spring pasta. 80 fall weeknight dinners. Shortcut dinner recipes. 26 shrimp pasta recipes. All 30 recipes from related pages. Heading not found.
so if you want to keep going, you know, there's other ways, but
Get coconut tofu. Get up to a third coconut tofu with snap. Sheep pan London broil. Spring vegetable fettuccine alfredo. Coconut tofu. Get up SF white. Register SF. Get whether you're vegetarian or simply looking.
now I want to see this.
Sheep pan. Spring vegetable fettuccine alfredo. Spring vegetable. Get the recipe. Link. Advertise. Spring vegetables brighten up classic pasta alfredo. While lemon 0 seconds.
All right.
Get the recipe. 0 second.
And
Show sidebar.
now, let's see.
Spring vegetable fettuccine alfredo. Ingredients. Directions.
All right, so it's got everything here. So what I'm going to do, and I think there's actually a new feature that my recipe app has, a Safari extension that will let me go directly into the recipe app, but I didn't update that on this device yet today. I will, but I'm just going to go to share because there's another way to do this. I want to copy this recipe, not copy, but I want to import this recipe into my recipe app. So we're going to go to the share sheet.
Safari, selected, manage extension, reload, share, button. Share, spring vegetable fettuccine alfredo.
Now,
Cap at foodnetwork.com. Options, button.
there's an options button. Anytime you see an options button in a share sheet, find out what the options are because it helps to determine how you're going to share this. For example, in the Photos app, if you attempt to share a photo, you're going to have options about whether or not to include the location in that photo. So if you're sharing with a close family member or friend, you probably don't mind sharing the location where that photo was taken. But if, for example, you're going to post that photo to Facebook, you may not want to share its location. So you always want to look at the options button. In this case, I won't do it for the sake of time, but I can tell you that the options button in the Safari share sheet will allow me to choose how I share this. Like, is it a PDF? Is it Reader? Is it just the website? Is it the, different options like that, perhaps. But notice if we keep going to the right, we have our sharing suggestions.
Carson, Kylie, Suzette, Jess, Joe, Mom, Clip, Diane, Walter, Gail, Amy, airdrop messages.
Now we have
button.
airdrop messages, all these choices of ways we can share, other apps we can open in.
Mail, button, notes,
You can
button.
open this in Notes, save it there.
Reminders, Freeform, Zoom, Amazon, ChatGPT, Amber, button.
And it does actually have Amber there now. That's my recipe app. So I could actually try it that way and just import it directly into Amber. I might try that here, but let's...
News, books, more, button, copy, button.
You could also copy the URL, and Amber has a feature you can do it that way, so I could paste the URL in there.
Add to reading list, button.
Add to reading list.
Add bookmark, button.
That's how we add it to bookmarks. You say share and then say add bookmark. You can choose if it's going into your favorites folder or where it's going in bookmarks, but that's how you bookmark something. Pay attention to that because you're going to want to know, how do you bookmark a website? Well, we just showed you. Go to the share button, go down to add bookmark.
Add to favorites, button.
And there's actually add to favorites. I forgot about that. You can, if you don't want to have to go through a two-step process, you can directly add it to the favorites folder that way. And you may not have to go through a two-step because you may have already selected favorites. So again, to be clear, favorites is a subfolder within bookmarks, but you may have others as well. So where in bookmarks do you want to add it? Favorites or, a different bookmarks folder or something. So you can choose that way if you pick this option.
Add bookmark button.
But if you pick add to favorites, it's
button.
already going to put it inside of that favorites folder.
Add to quick note button.
All right, quick note, that's part of your notes app.
Find on page. Add to home screen button.
You can add the website to your home screen as an icon so that you can quickly get back to it.
Markup button. Print button.
Print it out, mark it up.
Find products on Amazon. Search products on Walmart. Download file. Edit actions.
Right, so we have a lot of options. Some of them, we're not going to mess with right now. But I want to try this Amber one and see if it will import this way.
Dismiss
Never done it that way because they just added that feature. So
find on page.
The share sheet is along the right side of the screen in this app.
Options. Diane. Free. Zoom. Amazon. ChatGPT. Amber. Button.
Let's double tap it and see what happens.
Save recipe. Button.
Okay.
Save close. Image. Spring vegetable fettuccine alfredo. Save recipe.
There it is.
Button.
Hit save recipe.
Amber. Hide sidebar. Button.
And it looks, I'll
edit. Hide sidebar.
hide
Show
that.
sidebar.
Let's see what's here.
30 minutes. Spring vegetable fat. Finely grated. Finely. 1.5 toggle sidebar. My recipes. Tab. 1 of 4 meal gal. My recipes. Back button.
I think it did it.
Pen. Button.
Let me
schedule. Share. More. Spring vegetable fettuccine alfredo. Pen.
Let's
button.
go back.
My recipes. Back.
See if it's in the list alphabetically.
Best Pennsylvania Dutch page 2 page 3 chocolate chip cookie page 8 penne with sun perfect portobello mush potato and kielbasa potato rivals potato skins ranch steaks with raspberry caves Ruby Tuesday Sonora chicken pasta seafood boil sesame chicken strips with Sicilian tuna pasta slow cooker witch's brew Spanish rice burritos spring rolls spring vegetable fettuccine alfredo.
Yep, and praise
minutes.
God, there it is. It's in my recipe app, so that worked brilliantly. Now, to get back to Safari, I don't need to go to the app switcher. I can just do a 4-finger swipe to the right, because remember, you can always swipe between apps with a 4-finger swipe to the right or to the left. So we're going to go to the previous app with a 4-finger swipe to the right.
Safari.
And we're back.
Safari.
So
Show.
we now shared a recipe with my recipe app. Could have shared that by messages or mail, as a link to somebody else that they could view it. Could have printed it out. All sorts of different options from that share menu, including the option to add it to bookmarks and the option to add it to favorites and the option to add it to the reading list and the option to add it to the home screen as an icon so that you could quickly come back to it that way as well. Now, one of the things that we can also do, and I can show you that this is an open tab now, all right? Every website that you open will open in this tab. Some websites that you open will actually open a new tab, or you can manually open one with that new tab button. But I want to go in and start to teach you about tabs. So I'm going to open up the tabs menu here with the double tap.
Select manage, reload, share, new tabs, button.
Okay.
Tabs, show sidebar, button.
Now, let's take a look at the right side of the screen.
Spring Veg 75 easy sprint done, button.
There's the done button.
New tab, button.
Just to its left is the new tab button.
Edit, button.
There's the edit button.
2 tabs, button.
And there.
Show sidebar, 2 tabs, button.
Now, what does that button do, my friends? It says 2 tabs. That's because there are 2 currently open tabs. We can swipe to the right to see what they are.
Edit, button. New tab, button. Done, button. 75 easy spring dinner ideas that are full of flavor. Vertical line food network.
Okay.
Tab, 1 of 2.
And then
spring vegetable fettuccine alfredo recipe. Vertical line food network. Kitchen vertical line food network. Tab, 2 of 2.
Now,
spring vegetable fettuccine.
That's why it says there are 2 tabs. Those are the 2 open tabs, okay? Now, if I swipe to the left to the button that says 2 tabs, that's going to bring up my entire list of tab groups because you can create a group with multiple tabs. Technically, we have one right now. We have a tab group with 2 tabs in it. But I want you to understand that this is the default tab group. It's not a specific tab group that I created. It's just the default when I am not in any other tab group. But if I go to the left here to 2 tabs.
Edit, 2 tabs, button. Manage tab groups button.
And go to the right.
Arrange tabs by button. Collapsed.
We can expand
Double
that.
tap to expand.
We're not going to do that right now.
Copy 2 links button. Add bookmarks for 2 tabs button. Dismiss context menu.
Notice I could add bookmarks for 2 tabs right there so that both of those could be added as bookmarks. And we're going to dismiss this.
At dismiss context menu.
But what I want
Show sidebar.
now to show you.
Spring vegetable fettuccine Alfredo recipe vertical line Food Network kitchen vertical activate.
If you swipe up or down on one of these tabs that's open.
Close. Show context menu. Activate. Default. Close.
So we can close the tab quickly that way. What's in the context menu?
Show context menu. Copy link. Pin tab. Move tab. Close tab. Close other tabs. Dismiss context menu.
All right.
Button.
Now notice.
Close tab. Move tab. Button. Collapsed.
Why could I
Double
move
tap
the
to
tab?
expand.
Why would I want to move the tab, and where would I be moving it to? Well, the answer is I have other tab groups that I've manually created. And so if I open up this, if I expand this move tab option.
Move tab. Collapsed. Selected. 2 tabs. Button. Selected. 2 tabs. Durango. Vegas trip. Recipes. Disney trip. Tech check. Lincoln trip. New tab group. Button. Dismiss context menu.
Notice
Button.
I have several tab groups for different trips that we've taken or wanted to take or planning still to take. And we have tech check. We have recipes. Well, I think that I can't think of a better place to put a spring fettuccine Alfredo recipe than in the recipes tab group.
Tech check. Disney recipes. Button.
Double tap.
Show sidebar. Button.
Now, what has happened?
75 easy. 70 done. Button.
There's only one tab there now. Notice that.
75 easy spring. 75 done. Button.
Let's hit done.
Done.
Okay.
Show sidebar. Button.
Take a look at what we have now.
Food Network Kitchen Spring Ad Hoc. Get the rep. This dish is the fresh spring pea.
You're back on the website. So go up here again.
Select map reel share. New tabs. Button. Tabs. Show sidebar. Button. Set done. Button. 75.
There's just one there. So how do we
done. New tab. Edit. Button.
So you can create a new tab.
1 tab. Button. Show sidebar. 1 tab. Button.
And again, that 1 tab button, that
manage tab groups. Copy link. Add bookmark for dismiss context menu.
All right.
Button. Show side.
Now, you can also long press the tabs icon.
Edit. New tab. Button. Safari.
Oh.
70. Done.
Button. Done first.
Done.
Because I'm still in the tabs menu. Okay.
Sidebar.
You can also long press the tabs button.
Screen recording in chicken underscore. Select reel share. New tabs. Button.
Long press.
New tab. Button. New private tab. Button.
So you can open a new tab. You can open a new private tab. A private tab, private browsing, keeps all of your browsing safe and secure by associating it with Touch ID or Face ID. So if I have a private tab open, anytime I open Safari, it's going to make me use Touch ID or Face ID to view that tab. Also, as soon as you close a private tab, all the information in that private tab is gone. It does not keep your search history, anything like that. So that's private browsing. You can open a new private tab right here. Let's keep going.
New window. Button. New private window. Button.
So you can also open a new window, which basically is very similar, but it will function a little bit differently. We're not going to really get into that just yet.
Move to tab group. Button.
Notice.
Collapsed.
Notice there's
Double
the
tap to expand.
same option. There's another way to do that. If you long press on the tabs button, you can move whatever's open to the tab to a tab group of your choice or create a new one.
Close this tab button.
Close this tab.
Dismiss context menu.
And dismiss
button.
the context menu. Now, if we
Show
happen
sidebar.
to have more than one tab open, you would have a second option, not just close this tab, but also you would have an option that says close both tabs. Or it might say close all 3 tabs or close all 57 tabs, right? You could have a bunch of tabs open and close them all at once by long pressing on the tabs button and then choosing the appropriate option. Now, I prefer to let this happen for me automatically. There is an option in your Safari settings that will automatically close unused tabs after a specified period of time. And I have mine as 1 day. So if I've not used one for a day, it will automatically close. That way I'm not left with a bunch of things open. But again, I want you to notice that's unused tabs. So if you go back to a tab, then that starts the time over again. It won't close that day then. Okay, so just keep that in mind, but it is a good option to consider. All right, now, how do I view all of these tab groups that I have? Because we know we can add things to them, move things to them. How do I view these tab groups? We didn't see that anywhere yet, did we? And that's because it's in the sidebar. So now it's time to show the sidebar at the upper left here.
Our best spring back button. Show sidebar button.
And we're going to double tap.
Back button.
And we're going to look.
Back but forward. Page menu. Selected. Address. Foodnetwork.com. Managed extension. Reload. Page. Share. But 0 seconds.
Watch what happens.
New tab. 0 tabs. Button. Main menu. Button. Go to home page. Recipes.
There's still our website. But now let's touch the left side of the screen.
Vegas trip. Private. Selected. 1 tab. Safari. Heading.
And notice.
Tab groups. Button. Hide sidebar. Button.
There's the hide sidebar button. And to its right.
Tab groups. Button.
There's a tab groups button. And I think they're already showing. Let's go to the right.
Safari. Selected. 1 tab. Collapsed.
There's the
Actions available.
The first tab group. It's just called 1 tab because there is only 1 tab in it now. Go to the right.
Private. Collapsed.
There's
Actions available.
the private tab group, which I'm not using, but it's there if you want to use it. Go to the right.
Durango. Collapsed. Vegas trip. Collapsed. Recipes. Collapsed. Disney trip. Collapsed. Tech check. Collapsed. Lincoln trip. Bookmarks.
Okay. Each of those tab groups is collapsed, but if I expand it,
Vegas trip. Durango. Private. Recipes. Collapsed. Web page loaded.
what has it done? It's taken me. Let's look at the address bar.
Page menu. 85 forward. Page menu. Selected. Address. Foodnetwork.com.
All right, I'm still on that website, but go to the left.
1 tab. Private. Durango. Vegas. Selected. Recipes. Collapsed. Disney trip. Tech check.
Now, notice I am in the recipes tab group. So if I go
Monday, March. Select man. Reload. Share. New tabs. Button. Tabs. Selected. Recipes. Collapsed.
to tabs, notice I'm in recipes.
Disney trip. Recipes. Share. Button. iCloud tabs.
Okay, the first thing I want you to notice,
Recipes. Button.
that's the tab we're in.
Share. Button.
Notice there is a share button. Just keep that in your mind. Why is there a share button? All right, we're going to come back to that.
Edit. Button. New tab. Button. Done. Button. 85 best stuffing and dressing recipes for Thanksgiving. Vertical line. Thanksgiving recipes. Menus. Entertaining and more. 85 best stuffing and dressing recipes. Spring vegetable fettuccine Alfredo recipe. Vertical line food. Spring vegetable.
Okay, so what do you notice? Well, you notice I have a Thanksgiving stuffing recipe option in there. That was a website I had opened back at that time, and it's saved, or it's in this tab group, this recipes tab group. And then notice that spring vegetable fettuccine Alfredo recipe that I moved to this tab group is also there. Now, so a tab group is a collection of tabs, right? Relevant to a specific subject or whatever. I named this tab group recipes, and so I've moved some things to it. Now, why is there a share button at the top? Why wasn't there a share button at the top of the default tab group? Well, there isn't. It's as simple as that. I can't tell you why, but there isn't a share tab. There is not a share button on the default tab group, and there never will be unless Apple changes that. And that you can find that in the instructions, right? There's not a share button on the default one. You can share individual pages. We already did that. We showed you how to do that. But when you create your own custom tab groups like I've done here, it is possible for you to share the entire tab group, not just the individual pages within it. But again, you cannot do this in the default tab group. So if you ever open 5 or 6 tabs in the default tab group and want to share all of them, you're wondering, why don't I see the share button? It's because that doesn't work with the default tab group. You have to create a custom tab group and name it in order for that to work. So I have one here. It's called recipes, and right at the top, there's the share button along with that edit button. When I share a tab group, I can even share it collaboratively. So I can share, for example, if maybe we are planning a family vacation, and I have different websites open in this tab group for hotels and airfare, things to do, and so on. Then I can share that with family members and anyone else that might be going on the vacation, and they can access it as well. But not only can they access it, but we can start a FaceTime call or an iMessage chat right from that, and we can see it in the message conversation. We can go back and forth very easily. We can collaborate. Each person in the share can add to this tab group. So we're planning on a place to go and we are looking at attractions, and somebody says, oh, we really ought to try out this restaurant. They can just add it to the tab group. And somebody else comes along and says, oh, I found a really good hotel. They can add it to the tab group, and you can add things to the tab group. So it's a really powerful way to work with other people. And again, that share button is where it all begins, at the very top of the tab group. Now, let's just show you, because that was still recipes, so let's do something completely different. Let's go back to the sidebar. Let's get out of this. I got to hit done.
85 best 80 done button done.
And we're back on that page. Let's go to the left here.
Vegas Durango Vegas selected Disney trip collapse.
I don't even know what all I have in there, but
Web page loaded. Picture. Notice a change. Try clicking a movie poster for more info. Schedule. Had to help clean things up a bit. Heading.
Okay. Now, in this particular tab group, let's see what we have.
Selected. Manage. Reload. Share. New tabs. But tabs. Selected. Disney Daily Times. Start. Done. Button. New tab.
Notice.
Edit.
You can add a new tab.
Share. Button.
Still share it.
Disney trip. Button.
Now look.
Done. Start page. Disney Daily Times Ultimate Guide of What to Pack for Disney World. WDW Prep School. Oddly specific Disney parks and the Pit Theater. The Pit Theater.
Now I have other, I may have had other things and close those tabs. But if you want to bookmark something, you can even have separate lists of bookmarks. So here.
Start. Done. Button. Done. Selected.
If we were to hit this long press, this tabs button.
Monday, March. Select map. Ship. New tabs. Button. New tab, new private, new wind, new move to tab group. Close this tab. Close all 4 tabs. Dismiss context menu.
So you can close all 4 tabs there. All right. Now let's go.
Selected. Disney.
Let's go to share and show you.
Page. Select man. Reload. Share button. Share. The Pit Theater.
I'm going to skip over all these
sharing
suggestions and so on and touch lower down on the right.
Messages. Add to reading list. Copy. Amazon.
Okay.
New book. More. Copy. Add bookmark. Add to Disney trip favorites. Button. Add to favorites.
Notice.
Button. Add to quick note.
I can add to Disney trip favorites because I'm in that tab. So you actually have that option. And remember.
Picture in picture.
Let's.
Safari. Safari.
Dismiss this.
Download file. All
right.
Selected.
Remember to
select manage reload share new tabs.
Back in here.
Tabs selected. Disney trip collapsed. Tech check. Select recipe selected. Disney trip collapsed. Tech link.
Now.
Close. Disney start page done. New tab. Edit button. Share button.
And then there's that share button.
Disney
so
trip.
It's right there.
iCloud. Disney
and notice.
Share, edit, new done. Start Disney Daily Times. WDW. The Pit Theater. The Pit.
They're there.
Close.
And we can close one. We can anything we want.
Start
and
done button. Done. Selected. Disney trip.
If I have multiple open tabs here, right? So there are different favorites. You saw that it has Disney trip favorites. You can add to that. And then
Durango, Vegas recipes. Selected
on the left,
Disney trip.
That's where I'm viewing my actual tab groups. Okay, so I can pick any tab group that I want. Let's go back.
Tech check.
Oh, well, let me also just
select tech check. Linkage bookmarks.
Let me remind you how to make a new tab group up here.
Select manage reload share new tabs button.
You could open tab long press on tabs. I think it was. Let's see.
New tab. New private. New move.
No.
Close this tab.
No.
Move to tab group.
You have to expand this. You have to expand that
Double
first.
Tap. Move to tab group. Collapse.
Now you can.
One tab. Direct. Select tech. Lincoln. Dismiss concept. Dismiss Lincoln trip. One new tab group. Button.
Right there at the top. So if you want to move your existing website to a different tab group, you can expand that move to tab group, but then at the very top of it
new tab group button.
Is the new tab group button. You can create a new tab group with that website.
Dismiss context menu.
All right. The other
selected
option that you have here,
tech check, select rest of Vegas, Durango, picture, image,
is to go into the tabs menu.
Select manage extension, reload, share, new tabs button.
Instead of long pressing it,
Disney
you can go into it
WD Disney Start done. New tab button. Edit.
There's
button.
new tab.
Share button.
There's
Disney trip. But iCloud tab shared with you.
okay. That's going onto the sidebar.
Share,
Stay on the right
button,
here.
Edit. But new tab button. Done. Button. Start pit Disney.
So
W the pit
again,
done. New tab. Edit button.
if we say edit,
Edit. Done. But start page. Disney Daily Times. Alt. W. The Pit Theater toolbar. Close. Dim. Select tabs. Move. Dim. More. Dim.
so you can
button.
select multiple tabs, move them, and there's even a more button.
Close.
Let's select
dim.
one.
The Pit Theater. W. The Pit Theater selected. The tool. One. Move. Button.
Okay.
One tab selected. Move. More. Button.
What's under more?
Copy link. Pin tab. Dismiss context menu.
Right. All right. So we'll
Recipes. Select. Selected. The Pit Theater. The start page. Done.
and actually that Pit Theater doesn't really belong in the Disney Trip tab group, so let's close it.
WDW. The show context. Activate. Default. Show context menu.
Well, maybe it's because it's
WDW.
selected.
Prep
Let's
School.
select a different one here.
Selected. W.
Okay.
The Pit show active. Done.
I have to
button.
hit done first on that
Done.
one.
WDW. The Pit feed close.
Okay. Closed.
Web page
All right.
loaded. WD done.
It's
Button.
done?
Done.
Okay.
Selected. Disney trip. Tech check. Each year, our advice on how to plan Disney World trips is viewed more than 12 million times.
That's the probably WDW Prep School, I think.
Selected. Address. prepschool.com.
Yep. All right, so let's go back to the left and go back to our default tab now.
Recipe. One tab. Collapsed.
Just called one tab.
Actions of main menu. Button.
And we're back. Now you notice the right side.
Loaded, period. Save collection. 75 easy spring dinner ideas that are full of flavor.
Right? Remember, that's what we had open on the default one tab. So that's not surprising at all. Okay, so that is the tab groups feature, but that's not the only thing that's on your sidebar. Remember, we were looking at the sidebar on the left-hand side of the screen. So if you touch the left,
Vegas trip, recipes, Disney trip.
we're still
collapsed.
looking at these.
Actions
We're
available.
still looking at these tab groups, but keep going.
Tech check, Lincoln trip, bookmarks,
Now we're going to see bookmarks, and you can go to the right,
reading list, history,
reading list, and history. So any of these that you want to view, you just double tap them. You have bookmarks, reading list, history,
shared with you.
shared with you. We talked about shared with you a little bit in messages, but remember, shared with you allows you to see what people have shared with you directly in the app that was used to share it, so you don't have to be searching through your messages conversation or anything like that. I can just go into shared with you within the particular app. I can see what someone has shared.
iCloud tabs.
And then notice we have our iCloud tabs there, which I've already explained.
Vertical scroll
Now
bar.
we've
iCloud
crossed
tabs.
over to the other side. So let's say I want to view my bookmarks.
Share history, reading, bookmarks,
So-
favorites, button.
All right, now up at the, well, let's go to the left.
Search bookmarks, hide sidebar, bookmarks, heading, Safari, back button.
You can go back to the main sidebar. You can also hide the sidebar, but go to the right.
Bookmark, hide sidebar, search bookmarks, search field.
So we can search
Double tap to edit.
within our bookmarks.
Favorites,
We
button.
can choose favorites.
Tab group favorites, button.
Those are the tab group favorites.
Bookmarks menu, T-Mobile mic, vertical scroll, bookmarks menu, button.
And that's probably where some of that stuff was that we saw from Apple, like the popular and stuff, but maybe it was in favorites. Let's go into favorites anyway.
Tab group favorites.
That's where I really...
Save tabs, button.
Now, oh, it was in
Actions
here.
available.
It was in here. Okay, now here's the thing.
Search favorites, search field.
I would use that
Double tap to edit.
because this is going to be a long list, but you could also go to the bottom here.
Toolbar, edit, button.
There's an edit button. That's how you can organize your favorites and delete favorites, and you can make subfolders within your favorites folder. Hit that edit button at the bottom. And now if we swipe to the left, we should get to the bottom.
Vertical scroll bar 13, 20, 30, 40, 50, 73, 68, 78, 100%.
Swipe left.
101 Best Super Bowl, 195 Friends Trivia Questions Only a True Fan Can Answer, 101 Best Super Bowl Snacks for 0 seconds.
Yeah, this is pretty much the recent stuff I have. That's the most recent favorite.
101 Best Super Bowl Snacks for the Championship Game. 195 Friends Trivia Del Grosso's Amusement Park in Laguna Splash Water Park and Hershey Park. The Whiskey River Pot Vertical Line. Core Omega 3. OEM Apple. Morrison's Cook. The Melting Pot Vertical Line. The Original Fondue Restaurant. Stephen F. Udvar-Hazy Center Vertical Line National Air and Space Museum.
And of course, any of these that I want to view, I just double tap it. And again, at the very bottom was that edit button where I could make more folders or delete bookmarks that I no longer wanted and so on. And remember, I used that vertical scroll bar. I just swiped down till I got to 100% and then swiped left to more quickly find the bottom of the list because I've got a lot of bookmarks, a lot of favorites. Now at the upper left,
search favorites, hide side favorites, head bookmarks, back.
We're going to go back.
Favorites, search favorites, hide side bookmarks, heading, Safari, back.
We're going to go back again.
Bookmarks.
We're on the main sidebar. Now, what if I want to find out what somebody shared with me?
Reading history shared with you.
All right.
Tech check. Collapse.
Now.
Durango. History. Selected. Shared with you. iCloud tab. Shared with you. Heading.
This one puts it on the right side.
Trump's social security. Apple software update will radically change iPhone, iPad, and Mac. Report says. Seen at Apple News. One image. From mom. Button.
So what happens here is that there is an article that my mom shared with me about Apple from one of the websites that reported on, upcoming things, and it said from mom. So I could just double tap that to view the article that she shared, but she shared it within Safari, so that's how easy that is. Now on the left here,
hide sidebar, tab groups, Safari, heading, one tab.
Notice we're still right where we want to be. So if I want to hide this sidebar, I just very simply
hide sidebar,
double tap,
sidebar, toggle sidebar,
and now
Spring 2025 Bedford Workforce Catalog.
We're back on our
Pinecast.com announcing the launch of it. Shared with you heading,
and that shared with you is
toggle sidebar,
is still open. So probably what I should have done. Let's go back and show the sidebar.
Toggle sidebar, hide sidebar, link in trip, book, read, history, selected, shared.
Yeah, I should have deselected that.
Selected, hit, selected, iCloud,
or
select, history,
maybe,
reading list, bookmarks.
Maybe I have to pick something else, like bookmarks.
Favorites, button.
Yeah.
Search, hides, bookmarks.
Now go back.
Safari, back button.
See if that did it.
Tech check, link, book, hit, iCloud, selected, shared with you, head, Trump.
Okay, it's actually still keeping that up there. Maybe, because I'll be honest with you, normally when I haven't used the shared with you that much because I just do it from the initial screen and then I'm done with it. I haven't actually selected it that way. But I think, let's see.
Safari, head, tab groups, hide sidebar.
Well, I think, you know what? Maybe it's the tab group. Maybe I probably just need to hit one tab again. Yeah, I think that's what I need to do. Now.
Image, insertion, copy, Safari, heading, tab groups, but hide sidebar, but hide selected, show sidebar, pin it, but image, 75 spring dinner ideas.
That's all I needed to do. I kind of sometimes forget that because normally if I view that, then I'm done with it. But that's all you needed to do was just to pick the one tab group or any of the tab groups again. I was in, shared with you, and I just needed to get out of that by basically doing the, there's an ad on there. That's basically doing the default tab group, which is where we were most recently. And again, that's, the sidebar. Now, the other thing I'd like to show you is, just very quickly, I'm going to try to see if I can log into something to show you that when you have everything set up properly, it's super easy to log into places with autofill. Let's see if I'm logged into Amazon right now.
Selected address, M, A, Z, cleared address, share, new tabs, selected, Amazon, show sidebar, button.
All right, am I logged in? That's the question.
8 seconds, big spring sale, previous, shop by interest, Audible, baby, link, video games, selected, reach, new tab, Amazon, skip to, keyboard short, keyboard, cart, shift, option, C. Home, your orders, shift, show / hide shortcuts, shift, to move between items, Amazon, delivering to Everett 15.
Yeah, it looks like I'm signed in.
Keyboard shortcut,
Can I?
Your orders, your cart, shift, search, show / hide shortcuts, keyboard shortcut.
Normally I use the Amazon app, not the website, but
skip to, main, skip to, Amazon tabs, keep cart, home, your order, show / hide short, Amazon, delivering to all, app to move, but keyboard, your orders, home, cart, ship, search, keyboard shortcuts, heading, skip to, main content, skip to, heading, Amazon shopping, tabs.
Okay.
Best dressed guests, shop Dior, Louis, Chanel, Gucci, pre-loved hand, shop, spring breaks, next slide, replay, 8 seconds, big spring sale, previous slide, shop by interest, audible, baby, pet, fit, autumn, compute, home, fine, beauty and sport, sell, toys and
Let's keep
fashion,
looking here.
far, book, smart, gift, registry, today's Prime, new release, Amazon Music, best, Alexa, medical, choose hello, returns and or hello, sign in account and lists, link.
Okay, I'm actually not signed in. It looks like I can sign in. It just knows my location and such, but let's go ahead and sign in.
New customer, new to Amazon, your lists, create a list, find your new, sign in, link.
There it is.
Email or mobile image.
Okay, this one's super easy. Swipe to the right.
Sign into Amazon.com with your password for opening.
It's going to read my email address. I'll hit swipe to the right again.
Fill username button.
Double tap and Touch ID or Face ID.
Touch ID to sign into alert. Sign in. Image. Sign into Amazon. Use passkey button.
Going to use the pass key. Touch ID.
Safari. Fast. Free shipping. Unlimited. Previous slide. New luxury store. Household. Prime Video. Link.
And I just got a notification via SMS telling me that someone has signed into my Amazon account, right? Sign in. Yep, and that's good. I don't have to do anything, I don't think, because I'm signed in.
Alexa Plus.
Look.
Hello. Choose hello. Matthew account and lists. Link.
See, now I'm signed in. So that's how easy it is when you either have a passkey or when it can easily identify what website it is that you're trying to sign into. You just swipe to the right. Don't try to overthink it. Don't put your finger anywhere else. Just swipe right. Find fill username or fill password, and it will do it that easily. Now, in some cases, it doesn't. Instead, it brings up the on-screen keyboard. Or if you would happen to miss that and double tap on the edit field again for the username or the password, it would bring up the full on-screen keyboard. But you'd notice that the quick bar above the letters U, I, and O would have the password options. And if it can determine what the website is, it'll show that. Like it would say password for Amazon.com, and you just double tap on that and authenticate, and it will work. If it can't determine it, it'll just have your passwords button, and you can show all your passwords and pick the correct one. We will learn more about the passwords app later, but this is just to show you how easy it is to log into things, because really and truly, if you have everything saved properly, you can either use the pass key, which is a special feature that Apple has designed, cross-platform access to certain websites that will support it. More and more are supporting it. Amazon is one of them, but it also can use autofill with the passwords app as well, and fill the username and the password in there that way. Now, you can also use autofill for a variety of other things, like to fill out forms and so on, and that saves you so much time. If I'm trying to create an account or complete an online order or something, I don't know how easy it would be for me to find something right now off the top of my head where I could fill those kinds of things in. But I can tell you that it works. If you have a website where you have a form and you double tap on that first edit field of the form, let's say it says first name, directly above the keyboard will be the choices to autofill your first name, and then there will be an option that says autofill contact, and it can automatically autofill the whole form for you. Let's see, I guess I could.
Hello, Matthew. Switch accounts. Sign out. Link.
Sign out and pretend I'm going to create an account.
Sign email keyboard visible. Sign into email. Continue. By continuing, conditions of end. Private period. Need help.
That
button,
lower part of the
collapsed,
screen.
Copyright. Email or mobile phone. Copyright. Help. Privacy. Copyright. Email or mobile phone. Prepare. Need buying. Shop on Amazon. New to Amazon. Heading level 5. Create your Amazon account.
Let's just
Link.
do that.
Your name, text field, first and last name, required.
Not really going to do it, but
your name,
pretend.
first and last name, insertion point at end.
All right, let's look above the keyboard here.
Cap, pass, Matthew Grayson Volbricht.
There it is. I can double tap to fill that.
Go up, dimmed, go down, button.
Now, sometimes those will say next and previous instead of go up and go down, but they'll take you to the next form fields.
Tab.
Or previous.
Autofill contact, button.
And there's the button I was talking about where you can autofill the contact. See?
Autofill, Matthew Grayson, home, email. Work, email, customize, button.
So we can pick customize.
Other contact, button.
Right?
Cancel, button. Cancel.
So look at the...
Your name, mobile number or email. US +1, mobile number or password. The passwords must...
And it also will auto-create the password for you. When you double tap on that field, it will offer to create a strong password that meets the requirements, and you can customize it if you need to, but it will create the password for you and save it in your keychain, or the Passwords app now as it's known. For use across all of your devices. So you can see that would have auto-filled my email address because it said phone number or email. So we could, I guess it's going to have you add the other one later because you can certainly have both on your Amazon account. But right now it was going to do the email. And this was not a very extensive form, right? But it would have worked just the same if you had 12 different fields, first name, last name, address, city, state, birthday, phone number, email, anything you can think of. If it's part of your contact, it will autofill for you or offer to. And you notice it gave me different options: home, work, custom. So if I have multiple contact methods, I could pick which one I want to autofill the form with. This is a lot easier if I find a specific website where we can use it, but you get the idea of how it works. So I wanted to make sure I showed you how to, how to autofill something as well. And that is quite useful. And let's see if I can do one other demo for you today before we turn it over to the other instructors, and take your questions. There's a possibility that I can demonstrate downloading a file. Lots of different ways you can find files to download. I'll try to make it easy by finding a Zoom link to a cloud recording. So let's go to mail.
No, photo, mail, 10 unread emails. Mail, shows toolbar, downloading 13 messages, 0%.
Okay, now I can scroll up here.
Updated just now, unread, page, unread, 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 page 8, Amazon, World, Flag, Zoom, New Zoom, Zoom, Cloud Recording, Best, Zoom.
There's one I
selected.
I don't think I deleted yet, so if we go over here.
Message content. Hi Matthew, your cloud link. TTJ detail. John, duration view detail link. Okay. Web page loaded.
We'll go ahead and download this and then delete the recording. So find.
Delete recording. 55.
I just want
audio only 0 views this month. 47 megabytes.
The link. Audio only. So.
Web page loaded.
Now I'll find a download button on here.
Trim. Playback speed, volume, mute, 0/0, play, progress, close, who can see your viewing activity.
Swiping.
Download.
There it is, swiping left.
Download, 47 megabytes, visited, link.
Just double tap.
Alert. Do you want to download GMT 20250322000207 _recording.m4a? Close, view, download, button.
Download.
Down, show sidebar, button.
And what that'll do, I'm sure it's already done, praise God, we have really fast internet, what a blessing, glory to God. But up here, it puts a downloads button to the right of your address bar.
Screen recording in Safari, recording information, screen recording Safari, close tab, recording.
Oh, that's another thing I'll have to show you. But okay, here's.
Monday, March 12th, selected, Safari, address, 02 web.
My address bar, go to the right.
Manage extension, reload page, downloads, button.
It has a downloads button, and I can immediately view my downloads, and I can even resume a download or stop a download, but it's going to show me all of my downloads right there by double tapping that. Now, I can clear that list. That will not delete the download if I clear the list. It will just clear the reference to it here. My downloads are actually getting stored in a downloads folder in iCloud Drive, which I'll show you momentarily. But let's just go back.
Monday, March, select page forward.
Swiping
dim,
left.
Back button.
Because I want to delete this recording now that I've downloaded it. So
March I0 recording 50 play recording edit recording 25 100 download copy share add to Zoom clip.
See, I could have downloaded the whole recording.
Delete recording
But
1 button. Move this clip to trash. Move to trash. Delete recording 1 button. Loading.
And now what I'm going to do is close the tabs that are open. But I wanted to show you, before I do that, that on my screen, even though the sidebar is hidden here, I can see
Amazon registration, close tab, selected, my recordings, Zoom, skip to me.
That's up near the very top left of the screen. I can quickly switch to my other tabs by just double tapping where I heard like Amazon registration. Could have just double tapped on that on the left-hand side of the screen. It would have taken me back to that tab without affecting this one. But I want to close all of them now.
Select manage, reload, down, share, new tabs.
Go to long press.
New tab. Close both tabs. Button. Alert. Close both tabs. Close both.
And we're done.
Show sidebar.
Now we're going to learn about the Files app later on in this course, so I'm not going to spend much time on that, but I'll just show you that
97.
if I go
Photos. Notes. To map. Remind. Files.
to the Files app,
Files.
I have it on recents right now, I believe, so the very first one.
GMT. Files. Share. Button.
Oh.
Play. Done.
Hold on. Now.
Vertical scroll. Visual descript. Icon. Concepts. Equip. iPhone. GMT. Faith School 5.
What I'm doing is swiping left to get more current.
Shop. Concepts. Work. Concept. GM. iPad 9. GMT 20. Recents.
There it is.
GMT 20250322-000207 _ recording. Audio. Today. 3:21 p.m. iCloud Drive.
And that's
Actions
the
available.
the file we just downloaded, and I could long press this to rename it.
Copy button.
It's a bunch of swipes to the right.
Compress, duplicate, show, tags, delete, dismiss.
Oops, too far.
Rename.
There it is.
Button. Text field is at delete. Selection delete.
Let's put Saturday.
Cap SATURDY.
What was that date? That was the 20. No wait. 22nd. Thank you, Lord.
0 0 8 3 3 2 2 2 2 done.
Whoop.
P delete.
Right.
P 0 0 2 2 T 5 5
Done.
done.
Okay.
Shop. GMT. iPad 9. Saturday 03222025. Audio.
And we could listen in even though I wasn't there. We could see what Cliff was assisting people with.
Sap share. Play. Button. List. Button. Share. Pause. Done. Button. 52 minutes. 3. Media time.
In the building that you want it to succeed in. But that,
Okay, so there we go. So
Saturday.
there was a customer or a student talking to Trainer Cliff. So I guess we can confirm that indeed Cliff was helping out, actually doing some work, not just sitting back and slacking off. So we know that now he was working. So there you go. So we can check that out. And if he needs that, I can share it with him and so on. We'll learn about the Files app later on in the course. But I just wanted to show you some of these different, and we've done a lot today. We've done a whole lot today to recap, and I'm going to go to the other instructors and to the Q&A portion in a moment. But let me go back to the Zoom app.
App. Safari. Mail. Zoom. Active.
Let me
Viola.
disable the original sound.
More. Add more. But. Host. App. Disable.
And let me stop the screen share. There we go. Now we're stopping the screen share any moment. And as I was saying, to recap, we have covered a lot with Safari, how to open, view websites, go back, reader mode, reading list, how to bookmark things, how to share different, websites, how to work with tabs and tab groups, and create tab groups and share tab groups. And we looked at how to download files and even how to log into websites and fill out forms. The whole point of the Experience Lab is for you to try things that are relevant to you, because there's no possible way we can come up with every scenario. So on Wednesday, we're going to do a little more, maybe, if there's anything else that God leads us to cover in Safari. But then we're definitely going to get into the Experience Lab for the majority of Wednesday's session. What I would strongly encourage, you don't have to do this, but it's probably easier on you if you can. And then it also allows us to hear what you're doing, is to remember, come in on a separate device if that is at all possible. Don't join the Zoom meeting on your iPad. Come in on your iPhone or something.
Thanks for joining today's session. Didn't get your question answered? Have an additional comment or feedback? Email us info@ttjtech.biz or info@stiritup.com. And remember, stir is spelled with a U. That's STURITUP.com. Or check out our websites for additional resources. That's ttjtech.biz or stiritup.com. And remember, subscribe to the newsletter when you're there. That way you don't miss out on any upcoming announcements or events. Thanks for joining us. God bless, and see you next time.